Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the 6570 Family Project Podcast. You guys, we are just putting aside those power struggles and we are finding the path to lead our young women and our young men, if we have sons too, toward the confidence, respect, wisdom, mental wellness, all the things that they need in order to prepare them for the world. And in that 6570, guess what? We have 18 times where we revolve through this summertime that we have. And so I want to talk a little bit today all about what this looks like and how we can make it a wonderful experience for us as parents, them as kids, us all together as a family, and so forth. So, summertime, it can either be a time of fun, beach, hiking, summer jobs, friends hanging out, busy schedules for kids, like all the things, right? Or it can be a super lonely and isolated time that's defined by seeing others with friends doing all the things while you're at home and you have no one to spend time with, right? And, I just remember when I was putting this message together and this podcast together for you guys, I remember this one summer. I wasn't a person that had a huge amount of friends or anything growing up, but when I was in elementary school, I want to say probably fifth grade, there was this cool kid, right? This cool girl that asked if she wanted to, asked me if I wanted to hang out. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Of course, we didn't have cars back then. She lived for some reason a little further away from school, so we couldn't ride our bikes to each other's houses. But I just remember we had this big window in the front of our house, and I sat there. We had made a plan, and she and her mom were going to pick me up at, I don't know, let's say 9 a.m. And I got all ready. I was so excited. And I sat at that window. You guys, I mean, it is such a sob story to think about, but I sat at that window for hours, probably 4 hours, and for hours just waiting for her to pull up. And she never, ever did. And I honestly do not remember what happened after that. I don't remember what she said. If I saw her again, I had met her at summer camp. So it wasn't a person that was in my general sphere or my world in my day to day when we went back to school. But I just remember sitting there and just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I felt so lonely. I felt so deceived. I felt my worth was so down, right? All the things. And I still see, even though we're in the world of cell phones and all these things today, I still see this happening with a lot of kids. I serve with a lot of kids. I work with a lot of families. I have my own kids, and I see this type of thing happening all the time. And so I've lived in this world of having super fun summers and summers where I was sitting staring out a window, and I've seen it, and it has happened with my own kids too. I mean, FOMO, fear of missing out, that is real, really, really real, friends. And remember, our kids want to be seen, and they want to be heard, and they want to feel loved, and they want to feel belonging, and they want a purpose. And especially when we're getting into the second half of childhood, we're talking 8+, right? 8, 9+. When they're about 8, they're getting ready and gearing up, right? The great transition from first half to second half is really starting. But 9+, we're in the second half of childhood there, and they start to look for that love and belonging, not just at home, but also out of the home. And when they don't find it, it can be really, really heartbreaking for our kids, and for us, if you've ever experienced that too. And for us to see our kids, oh my goodness, to see our kids heartbroken, it is heartbreaking ourselves. So when we have today cell phones at every turn, right? There's a double-edged sword there. It can be great for keeping in communication and filling that connection gap between them and friends, but if they don't have a lot, or they're being left on red, or all these things that we're hearing today, or no one texted them and they're constantly looking, it's not, did they text me yet? Did they text me yet? It is, am I worthy yet? Am I worthy yet? Am I worthy yet? Right? That's really what's happening in their heart and in their head. So there's a double-edged sword with cell phones today, especially with our kids. And you gotta kind of keep that in mind. If you start to see them compulsively looking at it, just have that discussion, put it down, redirect, pivot the attention so they can see something else, right? And then I also want to just say that during this time, we as parents have to have more intentional parenting than we do necessarily during the school year, right? Because we're on break, but we also need something for them to do so they don't just turn into couch potato slugs. But it's also, it's also really hard to just try and figure out, okay, so this is what we're doing. I'm busy. Let's figure out something that we can do for you. Let's do something together, and then we'll move forward from there. So there's a caveat I want to put in here. And I want you to listen to me and listen to me hard. And if your kids are in the car and listening to this, I hope they can hear this too. You are not the entertainment committee. Okay. You are not the entertainment committee for your child. And if you feel that way, I totally understand, but try to take that pressure off of yourself. They do have to learn how to entertain themselves too. Learning how to be self-sufficient and entertain yourself, sit quietly in a room, do a puzzle, read, color, paint, create something, go out for a walk or a run. There's so many things that they can do on their own in order to entertain and stimulate their own bodies and minds. And it's a really important trait for them to listen to. So if you are spoon feeding them entertainment all the time, that is just exacerbating the issue, because then when you stop, they're like, well, what are we going to do now? You have to give me something to do, right? You're not giving me anything to do. I don't know what to do. And the mind just starts spiraling, right? And so giving them a little bit and having them have the lion's share majority of how to entertain themselves and choices within that is really important. So I really do recommend in your summertime to still have some sort of routine going on. Yes, it's more flexible. Yes, they have a lot more choices in there. Yes, it's not as time consuming as the school schedule that they have during the year. But I want to share with you what we do here in our home. Take it or leave it, pick from it what you like, and substitute things, whatever. But I just want to kind of give you a taste what I am talking about here. So for us, and I have this written on a board in our kitchen, a dry erase board in our kitchen, so that there is no excuse. Everyone knows what is supposed to be done each and every day. So, number one, get up, get dressed, brush your teeth and hair. Should I have to say this for teens and tweens? Maybe not, but do I have to? Absolutely. And you all know what I'm talking about. So don't even try to pretend, right? They come down and their hair is Medusa-like. They're still wearing the clothes from yesterday. There's a strange smell in the air. The teeth are like, woo, okay, sister, brother, you need to go take care of that, right? And so, yes, get up, get dressed, brush your teeth and hair is a first thing on the list. Clean your room and your bathroom, whatever they use, right? Clean your room and your bathroom. Make sure that it is not this lion's den of whatever is growing in there and in there, and all of your dishes haven't migrated from the kitchen up to there, right? And so those are the first two things on the list. And why is that? Well, it prepares them for a day. If they get into this habit of my day is my night is my day, I only get dressed if I'm going to be entertained outside of the house, right? Then everything just really starts blurring together. Instead of having this punctuated, this is my day, what can I do with this day? Well, how can I serve the world today? How can I enjoy the world today? All these different things, right? So if we have that punctuated, this is a day and this is night, then they can follow a rhythm a lot better. Sleep will be better, daytimes will be better, awakeness, alertness will be better, right? And so making sure those are your first two things can be super, super useful. Okay, so get up, get dressed, brush your teeth, brush your hair, clean your room, clean your bathroom. Next is, they come down, they eat whatever and what have you. But during the day, we do 60 minutes of reading. So each one of them has 60 minutes, a full hour. Now, they can break it up if they want. That's totally up to them. Again, their choice. These are the things that need done. You figure out how it's going to get done. So 60 minutes of reading. Now, my kids are still finishing up a few of their school books and they're read on your own school books, which is totally fine. But after that, they're like, what do we read after that? I say, you can read whatever you want. Some of my kids, all of my kids actually are going into they're a few grade levels higher in math that they tested into for, we're making the transition from homeschool for the last 7 years into a secondary school, not a secondary school, a traditional school. There we go. And so they are going there. My point is I bought them these books in order to help them get a bit of a, head start on how they're going to be using their brains differently for their new math that they're going into. So they can do that as part of their 60 minutes. They can go and read a novel that they want to read again because they loved it so much when they read it in the past. They can, if they want, they can tell me something and, maybe we'll get some new novels in the house. I don't know if our bookshelves can support them, but we will find a way. Right. And so, but 60 minutes of reading, super important, engage the brain, right? And speaking of engagement, 20 minutes of movement. And so it's really important that they're still intentionally moving their bodies. And they're going to give you well, I rode my bike to so-and-so's house. Well, I walked the dog. Well, I did this. And they're like, well, that is awesome. That is so great. But we're really looking for that regular life. Plus, I want you to just get up and put on some, workout movement clothes and intentionally move for that 20 minutes. And the only thing you're doing for that 20 minutes is saying, this is what my intention is, to move and celebrate my body and all the things, all the cool things it could do. Right. So 20 minutes of movement. And then in our home, we do a Bible study every day. And so they have that to do every day. It takes maybe 5 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. And then they can do more if they want, of course. 20 minutes of music practice. Music is something that, during the school year, they're really practicing. In my house, I have a drummer, a singer, a guitarist, and a pianist. And so in the school year, they're working hard and doing that. And then if we take, 2-3 months off in the summer, then, I think I said that right. In the school year, they're practicing hard. And if we take all that time off in the summer, they're going to lose some of that, that skill and also just the habit of practicing that gift every day. So we want them to keep that. And then of course they have their chores that they do. Every child has a different chore. And then they have, each child has a laundry and poop pickup day. They are coincided. So it just makes it easier to remember. On Monday, one of them brings down their laundry, does their laundry and has poop pickup. On Tuesday, it's a different one and so on and so forth. And so that's independence. That is that practical wisdom that we are fostering there. It is contribution to the home, right? They eat the food, use the water, use the electricity, make the messes and everything, right? And so that is their contribution to the team and helping our home work, our household work. And then keeping the living space downstairs picked up. Again, one of those things that I don't think I should have to put this on here, but I'm going to, just because if I don't, I'm going to come down. My kids cook a lot. And so I will come down to a kitchen that looks like the science lab of Flubber from the Disney movie way long ago. So those are the things we do. So again, it is get up, get dressed, brush your teeth and hair, clean your room and the bathroom, 60 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of movement, 20 minutes of music, your Bible study, your chore, If it's your laundry and poop pickup day, then do those, and then keep the living space downstairs all picked up, right? And then I have the reminder on there of two things: rocks, which is our family rule. It is respect, obedience, compassion, kindness, and self discipline leadership, right? Self discipline. And then we have responsibilities before recreation. So all of these things need to be done, and then they can come up and get us. My husband and I are working, and they come get us usually on our lunch and say, okay, I've done all of these things. We're like, okay, what did you do here? How was music? We just have that discussion, right? What did you do? What did you do in music? What did you practice? What are you reading? Right? All these things. And then recreation can start. That is when they get to hang out with friends, or they get their phones, or they get to, open up their TV time and things like that. And they just get to have that free time. So we're really balancing okay, so we have a bunch of things that we still need to do, and we need to contribute, and we need to have our responsibilities, right? And then we get our recreation, and it is summertime, and we get to just have a whole bunch of fun and do whatever we want. And so it's still the balance of responsibility before recreation on a less intense, less, school scale, but it's still that habit of having responsibility every day and getting up and doing it. And if they don't move their brain and their body enough, you guys, both of them are going to turn into slugs. And you don't want that. A child that has, a sluggish brain has sluggish thoughts and feelings and decisions and actions. And then it leads down a downward spiral you don't want to go on, right? So it's hard on parents to feel like we need to constantly see our kids smiling and having fun and squeezing every last sun-kissed drop out of this break, right? There's a lot of pressure there, and you see these beautiful TikToks or Instagram videos of, kids dancing in sun-kissed, ocean times and everything. I want you to remember, and something I always keep in mind: there's no such thing, and I challenge you to think about this. There is no such thing as an entire day that went by in perfect harmony, right? In perfect sun-kissed sunset dancing moments and all of this. There are moments, beautiful, amazing moments. TikTok reels are not 24 hours long, you guys. They are only 60 seconds or 90 seconds for a reason, So don't feel the pressure that every single moment of every single day needs to be picture summer perfect. Just take the moments, take the beautiful moments, and just keep stringing those moments together. Okay, you guys? All right. So I wanted to say that when you are mom or dad too, and you are working and they're sitting around being quote unquote bored, that is a lot of pressure that feeds into that. And I just wanted you to know that if you are a working parent from home, if you are a working parent outside of the home, if you are a stay-at-home parent, I've literally done them all. And I see you, I hear you, I understand the struggles in all of those. So I want to give you a really quick, it's called just the 3 Ps of summer, right? And it is prep, plan, and play. Okay. So something that you can just get together. 3 Ps are easy to remember, and you can do this. And remember, it's about the moments strung together, not the whole days. So in prep, it is gather and brainstorm everyone together, right? A good tip, you want to gather the family and make a list of all the things you could do over the summer, right? There's still 2 months left of summer or thereabouts, depending on what your school schedule is. I would really, really caution you against and would not recommend that you make a will do list, right? Because a lot of things can happen. You never know when the next pivot is going to be around the corner. And I guess that's a pun intended right there. A pivot is around a corner, but you get my point. You never know what's coming. So if you make a could do list, there's no promises. It's just this great big dream list, right? Trust me, you guys, I made that mistake one year. Oh, summer of 2012. It still makes me tired to think about it, you guys. We made a list of 100 things that we would do over the summer. It was a will do list. I was so stinking stressed that entire summer. I was like, okay, now we got to do this. Okay, checking that off the list. Okay, we got to do this now. Oh, maybe we can do this on the way to this so that we can check off 2 for today. Woo, all the things. And so, you guys, don't do that to yourselves. Been there, lived it, stressed it. Don't do that to yourselves. So make a could-do list, and it just gets everyone dreaming and excited for all the possibilities, and everyone can contribute, right? They do not have to be big things. They do not have to be costly things or cost anything. Just things that would brighten a summer day, and make sure that they're realistic. I mean, if you have a kid that's like, I want to go to Greece on Tuesday, yeah, make it so it can actually happen. And so that is the prep part, right? You're just prepping and getting everything ready, getting the idea engine going, if you will. Then each week, pick a day where you can plan. You're like, okay, I want to do, let's actually do these 2, maybe these 3, if you're super ambitious, things this week. And then I just get everything that you need for them, or make the plans that you need for them, or invite the people that you need to have for them, whatever that is. So you prepped, you made all the ideas, you're planning, and you're just planning the 2, maybe 3 things you're going to do that week, getting everything ready. The getting everything ready part, super important. When I was teaching science, I can't tell you how many times an experiment came up and I was like, oh, I forgot to get those ingredients. I forgot to get those materials. And so we couldn't do it that day. We had to postpone it or what have you. So do the plan and pick a day and do and get the things ready, right? And then just play, just do it. No pressure, right? Just have so much fun. Make the moments, but they are just moments, not every single second of every single day. Okay. Take some of that pressure off yourself. Some fun examples, you guys, are family sleepovers. So fun, right? A friend sleepover, of course, spending the night with a grandparent, a friend, a neighbor, or a relative that they normally don't. So they get to know someone on a different level. Going to the zoo, a park, a hike, a beach walk, going in to find shells or shark teeth, right? Walking in a stream in a forest, walking in a forest at all, right? Eating ice cream for dinner, going berry picking, swimming 100 laps in a pool, having a dance party, building something, inventing something, making new food dishes that you've never tried before, trying some new fruits or veggies you've never tried before, going to vegetable stands and fruit markets, serving in the community somehow, doing a house project together, reading books, writing a book, making a new game and playing it. That's so fun. One of my daughters made a new board game, that is literally just for the Harden sisters. Only the 4 of them can play. It's very specific to them, but it was so fun. And they do that. She made it kind of impossible to win, but that's okay. They still have fun playing it. And then just having all these ideas cooking up, right? Again, they don't have to cost anything. They don't have to be this big ordeal, right? It's not like you're going on vacation every week. Some people do over the summer. Most people don't. So prep it, plan it, and play. You guys, you will have an incredible summer. Take that pressure off. Just enjoy it, right? Just enjoy. It is part of the 6570 journey, you guys. All right. Next week, I will be back with another episode. Remember, you guys, keep teaching them, keep laughing with them, keep loving on them. And remember to just keep showing up with intention during the 6570 parenthood childhood experience, because they absolutely need you. I'll see you next time, guys.